What's up everybody, welcome back to Lord of the Coins, where I objectively give you guys my analysis based on price action. The purpose of this video is going to show you guys how I quickly analyze some charts and identify areas of key interest for trades that I take myself. So I'm going to show you guys what works for me personally and how I managed to keep over an 80% win rate trading the markets even during this bear market. So in this video of Vechain, we're going to cover a few topics here. The first thing we'll cover is the higher time frame order flow. This is to give us a overall direction of the market. The second thing we'll cover is the lower time frame order flow, so we can gauge where price action is headed in the short term. And the last thing we'll cover is the key area of interest and analysis for a swing trade, as I believe Vechain was set up here for a pretty big swing trade here, and I really want to show you guys that. So without further ado, let's get started here. So in terms of Vechain, I want to start here on the weekly and just show you guys that we're just in a macro bear market here, and we're just setting lower lows and lower highs. And until we're really proven otherwise and we break market structure, we're just going to remain bearish. And that's pretty much all I want to really show you guys on the weekly. Until we really break this level of around 2.8 cents and we get a weekly candle close above this, we're just bearish. And I think just saying we're bearish until proven otherwise is probably the best way to approach it. So we'll go down to the daily here, and we're going to do several things on the daily. The first thing we're going to check are the moving averages. So we're going to check the 50 and the 200, and we're going to check it for the golden cross. Because technically right now we're just in a death cross. Once the 50 crossed below the 200, 50 being the blue line, the red being the 200, we've just been in a death cross here. And at the moment, the 50 is still just pretty much just in this like 45-degree angle, coming down. And what you really want to see with the 50 is a flattening of the 50. You want to see the 50 flatten out like this. And this is kind of where you're looking. And if you're a swing trader, this is probably one of the most important things you're looking for, is the flattening of the 50, and you can start to see it kind of curve up. And then once price action here, finds support in the 50, this is kind of where you want to enter for like a big breakout here for a swing trade. So in terms of the 50, we're still looking bearish here. And yeah, just overall we're pretty bearish here, and I'm going to show you guys the exact key level that I'm looking at for Vechain, as Vechain is actually, it's a little tricky here. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I see just in a moment here. So in terms of like the overall, we're just bearish on Vechain, and I would not really take long trades until we get enough confluence for taking a long trade here. So in terms of short trades, definitely you guys can take short trades off of like rejection of the 200, rejection of the 50, off of bearish order blocks. But at the moment, I'm not really looking to short Vechain. I'm just looking to find a really good entry into a long. So let's go down to the 1 hour, cover some lower time frame stuff here. So in terms of Vechain, if you're more of a day trader, the area I'd be looking at here is, hold on, let me get rid of the moving averages. The area I'll be looking at here is a sweep of the previous week VWAP, and then a rejection off the broken base into a retap of demand here. So pretty much what I mean by that is that previous week VWAP is around here, and there still lies a good amount of volume here. So we're going to drop here, and it's going to look like we're going to have some sort of resistance. On top of that, we do have a fair value gap that exists right here. So there's a pocket of liquidity that does want to get filled here. So what price action is going to want to do is it's going to want to come down here. It might move up a little bit after breaking market structure here. And then it's going to find some rejection off the previous week VWAP, as there's still some amount of volume here. And then price is actually going to come down here to the broken base, find rejection, and then sweep. And once you get this sweep into the zone of demand, this is going to be your entry. This would be a high risk entry. The least high risk entry would be after the sweep. You get to move up and you get to retap into demand here. And this would be the safest entry into a long. So in terms of a long trade here and kind of a day trade on Vechain, this is what I'd be looking at. On top of that, if you probably take the fib here, this is probably somewhere in the golden pocket. So we're gonna take the fib from that swing high, or to that swing low to that swing high. Yeah, it's between the 0.5 and kind of around the golden pocket. So this is a pretty good area too. If we take the FRVP of this range that formed right here, we actually have a lot of volume down here. So it might actually be smarter to, you know, maybe consider this whole area, this whole range as a zone of demand here. And I'm gonna make that green since it's a zone of demand. And, you know, maybe put your stop underneath this swing low right here. And, you know, maybe right along somewhere like that. That would probably be the safest bet if you don't want to get stopped out, you know, too prematurely. So in terms of a long trade, this is what I look for kind of on the short term. And this is just kind of my lower time frame, you know, quick analysis here. I think we still, hold on, let me check here. Yeah, in terms of Vechain, we actually still have bearish order flow here. So this is how I find bearish order flow. So this is what is known as a sweeping candle. This candle went up and swept out all the liquidity, you know, prior to this. So if I mark it out here, this move swept out everything from this previous high, which is like pretty much everything here, right? All that got swept out, and like all this got swept out, all the liquidity here. So once that gets swept out, what you want to look for is a broken base. This is what is known as a broken base. It's the highest low of the move that did the sweep. So once you have that broken base, what happens is that you form a zone of demand, or it's supply in this case. So once you form this zone of supply, pretty much price is going to want to re-tap into this, and that confirms bearish order flow. So we actually have 2 taps into this, and yeah, we're going to see probably a bigger move down here for Vechain here. So this is how you confirm bearish or bullish order flow. You can find another example right here. So this is the move that did the sweep, swept out all the liquidity right here. I'm actually gonna get rid of these standard deviation bands. I think they're kind of getting in the way. So this is the move that did the sweep, right? And I'm gonna mark this with an X. I usually mark this with the X on my charts. And in this case, since it's we're setting lower lows, it's gonna be the lowest high that did the sweep. So around here. That is the lowest high, right? Right there. And I mark that by Y on my charts. Once that forms and you get that broken, or you get that change of character by this broken candle, you form a zone of demand. After the zone of demand, you see that we had a quick retap into demand here, and we have bullish order flow. Right after that, price went up. That's how you determine bearish and bullish order flow. So now that we have bullish order flow, and now we got bearish order flow here, we are coming down here on the 1 hour. And pretty much you want to check these on, you know, certain time frames, as they are pretty specific to time frames. You know, you can have multiple bearish and bullish order flows on the 1 hour within a 4-hour chart. So that's something to keep in mind. So if we're trading on the 1 hour here, currently we're still in bearish order flow until, you know, we're really proven otherwise. So I do believe we'll kind of come down here, and if we do see a, you know, this type of price action where we get a sweep and then change of character, we're gonna look bearish or bullish here after, and retapping into this, you know, zone of demand right here. So in terms of lower time frame, this is what I'm looking at, and you know, if you really wanted to set up a long trade here, you know, it would just look something like this, and probably sweeping out these relatively equal highs right here for like a 5% gain and a 3.16 RR. You can probably make that RR a little better here, like a 3.58 RR. So this is what I look for, you know, on the lower time frame if you're more of a day trader. And if you're more of a swing trader, I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're looking at for a pretty good swing trade here. So the reason I said the swing trade on Vechain is going to be tricky is because of this. So on the daily here, we actually have this daily order block, right? But this wick is really large. When you have large wicks on higher time frames, they are not good areas of demand or high confluence. You should actually be very, very wary of high wicks on higher time frames. So on the daily here, we actually have this, you know, huge wick here, a decent candle body, but this is just like, it's just not a good order block. And you know, when you do have big wicks like this, you can just take the body of the order block. But I think there are better ways to do this. So even if we go on the weekly here, let me show you guys what I mean. So if we're on the weekly here, it's even worse. On the weekly here, this is just like purely a wick. And this is not an area of demand that you want to be looking for. So I'm actually just gonna get rid of this entire block. And I just highlighted that because I wanted to show you guys that. So on the weekly here, we do actually have a weekly order block right here. And another weekly order block, you know, with pretty big wicks right here. So, you know, you can probably just take like the body of the wick like that, you know, for a really, really specific zone of demand, but that's something I personally don't like to do. What I like to do is this. So we're actually gonna go back on the daily here, go back to this area of interest, and what you wanna do here is this. So we identified that weekly order block, right? This is the weekly order block that's highlighted in green. And then what you wanna do after that is take the FRVP. What the FRVP will do is just give you an area of like the most volume. So you want to take it from this entire range, just like that, and take the FRVP. Once you have the FRVP like that, you get your POC, which is this, you know, brighter green line right here. I'm actually gonna get rid of my VRVP over here. And I'm just gonna draw a horizontal ray like that and label this POC. This is kind of the area that you're gonna be wanting to look for. So we're gonna come back here on the 1 hour chart. Actually, we're gonna go to the 4 hour chart here since we're gonna set up a swing trade. And get rid of this. So in terms of probably the best, you know, key area of interest I'll be looking at for a swing trade is within this order block, this weekly order block, but on this POC. I want to see a pretty good rejection off of this POC. So once price action kind of moves up here, I think it'll hit a zone of demand or a zone of supply here. You know, we might chop for a bit, but whenever we enter this area, you know, I'm actually gonna set an alert here. Set a couple alerts. This is what I'm looking for. I want to see a hard rejection off the POC. I want to see a large wick. Once you get that large wick, we're gonna retrace into that wick and sweep. And then you'll get your sweep right here. Then after that sweep, we're gonna get a retap into demand and get a macro, we're gonna get macro bullish order flow here for a pretty big swing trade. And, you know, if we just kind of zoom out here, we go to the daily, you know, what we target on the daily here is probably even this high up here. As, you know, once we kind of form this, what we're gonna form here is also a rounded bottom. Rounded bottoms are probably the best thing to trade in crypto and, you know, in stocks or whatever if you're a swing trader, as rounded bottoms give you absolutely parabolic gains. So once price action kind of forms this rounded bottom, you get absolute parabolic gains. You can get, you know, the targets for rounded bottoms is this. So once you have like your rounded bottom right here, like the entire, like the lower portion, you target 3x. So that's like 1, 2, and 3. So you target like 3x of, you know, whatever the bottom portion of the rounded bottom looks like. And likely, since this is such a big rounded bottom, we're probably gonna get pullback here, form a cup and handle, which will give us another entry into another long trade here. So this is gonna be an absolutely parabolic gain if we get this on Vechain. And this is a trade that I'm very excited for, as, you know, Vechain here is actually fundamentally a decent project as well. So I believe this will be one of the winners in the next bull run. Especially with, you know, Rune and Thorchain being also a pretty good project here and gaining a lot of traction. I believe Vechain and Rune are going to be a couple winners for the next bull run. So definitely don't miss out on this, as, you know, this is looking like a fantastic trade here. And the next level I really look at, if this gets broken, since we do have a lot of relatively equal lows, like right here, the next level I really look at is this zone of demand right here. Let me zoom in here. the zone of demand right here. And if that doesn't work, what I'll look for is a FRVP in this area. And just in this entire zone of demand right here, I would look for something here as well. And these are like my levels for Vechain, as this might be a coin that instead of just swing trading, that I just DCA into as as the next bull market runs here. This is just going to be an absolute winner. Boom, like that. So I do think this area is really, really good, but in case the markets just turn out just really poor, then these are the next two levels I will be looking at. I'm going to set alerts for these as well. So definitely keep this level in mind, and yeah, if you guys enjoy this type of analysis, please let me know, and I'll do this for some other coins that I really believe in. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, just make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps out my channel a lot. And if you guys do want trades like these on the daily, like these daily swing trades, or like these daily day trades, and just market updates and more swing trades like these on a bunch of other coins, make sure to check out the link below and check out my private trading community. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.